What's going on, guys? Update for you. Just wanted to check in, see how everybody's doing. We're all doing pretty good here. It's been very hot lately. I want to say, is it Saturday? Yeah, Friday afternoon into today. It's been over 100 degrees every day. 60% humidity, so it's just been hot and sticky here lately in this area. Of course, if you guys have watched the videos, the prior videos, you know that I live in Mississippi and it is just a hot area. Summertime, the air temperature will be 95, 96 with 30, 40, 50% humidity, and you're looking well over 100 degrees. So I want to say this morning I checked the weather, and at 9 o'clock today, it was already the real field temperature, which technically is a temperature they should go by if you ask me, because if it feels that hot, it is that hot. It was 95 at 9 degrees this morning. I'm sorry. It was 95 at 9 o'clock this morning. I'll get it right in a minute. But yeah, so that's what, it's been hot lately. We did go to Repticon. I was kind of excited about it. We went Saturday, August the 8th. We did go to that. We did check it out. It was a little different this time around. It is definitely, last year was definitely a lot better. There weren't very many vendors. There were several, I guess, maybe 20 vendors, I guess. That's what it was. Maybe more. I didn't go by and count every booth, but yeah, it was something like that. I got a gnat crawling around on my phone. It's driving me crazy. But anyhow, we went to that. I was not very happy with it, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if you guys have been able to have any events or expos or conventions in your areas, wherever you're at, wherever you're watching this from. We had one scheduled in March. Of course, that's when everything happened. So this is the first decent-sized event to come since March of 2020, and we all know what happened that time. So since that, there's been a lot more rules and regulations in place for social distancing and wearing masks and the number of people that are allowed in a building at any given time. So the way that they did it is $12 a person, unless you're under 4, under 5 or something like that. That was free. I want to say 5 to 12 was like $10, maybe. I don't know. I don't have anybody that young, so yeah, we went. It was $12 a person. You weren't allowed to buy your tickets at the gate, which is what we used to just go and pay to get in. Not allowed to do that anymore. You had to purchase your tickets online. Then they send you an email. Actually, I think there was 2 or 3 emails that they sent. One saying that we placed an order, one that the order was confirmed and approved, and then the other had the tickets in it. So it's kind of crazy just from the start. Like I said, I was really excited about going to it. Sorry, one of the legs was messed up on a tripod. But yeah, I was really excited about going to it. I wanted to see all the animals, beautiful animals, all the snakes. Then you get there, so we didn't go to the early block, which was 10 to 12, I think. I think we might have missed 2. Anyhow, we got into 2 o'clock, so you had to buy, they only had so many tickets to sell per block, and a block was like an hour and a half or 2 hours. I want to say it was 2 hours for a block. So the cost was still the same. Still cost me $12 to go. And any other time, if I paid $12 to go, I'd be there for several hours to get my money's worth. This time, not so much. You don't really get your money's worth. I guess that's what I'm saying. I was really disheartened by the turnout, I should say. The turnout for the customers was very good. I imagine that block was sold out because there were several people in there, probably 50, I would guess. But anyhow, back to the topic. So we bought tickets for the 2 o'clock block, so it was 2 to 4, I guess is what it was. Yeah, I think that's right, 2 to 4. We got there a little bit early. I don't like to be late or on time for anything. I like to be early for everything. Came from a military household, so if you're on time, you're late. Right? If you're early, you're on time. So that's always my mindset, to be early. Our block started at 2. We got there at, I think it was like 5 after 1. And they told us, of course, they told us that our tickets wouldn't work until 2. So we left there and we went, there's a Harley dealership right down the road. I had to go check that out. Some beautiful bikes in there, in case anybody's interested. Southern Thunder, South Haven, Mississippi has a great selection. Anyway, we went there and we came back, and it was probably 1:30, maybe 1:45-ish. And we came back in the building and we kind of sat down on some benches outside of the event. We were told that we were not allowed to be in the building, that we had to go outside. They don't know. They said they didn't know how we got in the building with the doors locked. Obviously, the door wasn't locked. If it was, we wouldn't have got in. We didn't break in or anything. We just pulled the door handle and it opened. So they kicked us out. Now, remind you, it was 100 and I want to say it was 102, 104 degrees outside. They made everybody stand in a line in front of the door. Absolutely zero shade. People of all age ranges, right? So I'm in my 40s, so there's people from my age, people a little bit older than me, 50s, 60s, and then people all the way down to kids. So we were all standing outside, 102, 104 degrees, direct sunlight. That's not a pleasant time. And then on top of that, the security or the people that were managing the event were very rude to us customers that paid for their service. I don't know, I guess I feel that if I pay for your service, the least you can do is be polite to me. Makes sense, right? To me it does. But anyhow, yeah, we got kicked out, stood in line in the heat. I think my dog's at the door again. I don't know. Anyhow, stood in line at the heat, and then finally 2 o'clock came, and they let us in. Luckily, we had a friend that had a table. She was selling snakes there, so we stopped to talk to her for a little while. Elizabeth, if you're watching this, it was good to see you. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a good turnout for yourself. That's good. It's awesome. It's good to see somebody that we know there. So we walked through. I want to say there may have only been about 10 tables that had ball pythons. I might be wrong, but I think that's pretty close to right. Pretty close. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, anybody that was there, please comment down below and let me know the actual number of snake vendors that were there. I'm trying to count it real quick. There's probably about 10, give or take 10. And unfortunately, it did not have what I was looking for. I was looking for, as you guys know if you've watched previous videos, I was looking for adult female pied. They did not have that, unfortunately. And to be honest with you, not everything, but most of what they had, 95% of what they had were hatchlings. I wasn't interested. I mean, there was a few that I was interested in, but I wasn't interested really in purchasing a hatchling. That's really not going to help my cause any other than, I guess it would 3 years down the road, but I'm looking for the near future, and that was the distant future. So they had a couple. There was a guy that had a couple blue-eyed leucistics, and they are just amazing animals. They were real small though. They were hatchlings. They did have several female pieds there, but of course they were hatchlings. They did have some males that were adult males, but but just nothing that I was interested in making a purchase on for my collection. There was one guy. So sometimes you have to make sure that you cross-check the vendors, right? Because it's similar to a flea market. Anybody can go and set up and sell. Um, Now the lady that I know, that my family knows, my wife and I know, Elizabeth, we know her personally, so we know that her snakes are legit, right? That it's the real thing. If she tells you that's what it is, that's what it is, unless maybe she missed a gene somewhere down the line, which can happen, right? So there was a guy that had some, a female that he told me was ready to breed. I don't think she was ready to breed just yet. She's awfully small. So, again, that's why you want to make sure that you know and understand the animals that you're looking at, and make sure you cross-reference with other people there that you may know, or ask questions. It doesn't hurt to ask questions. So, that's what we did. Anyhow, that's the wrap-up of the August 2020 Memphis Repticon. It was. I was hoping for more. I can't lie. I was hoping for more. The last time we went, it was outstanding. There were probably 40 vendors, I would guess. Close. I don't know. It was full of vendors. Now this time around, there was a lot of open spots. So it was pretty good. There was a few boas there. There was a lady that had a setup of blood pythons. I don't know if you guys have ever seen blood pythons or not. I'm kind of interested. My wife is not, because they are kind of defensive snake. But they did have several blood pythons. They had some Burmese pythons, and they had one carpet python there. So, I mean, you know, it was pretty good stuff. There's a lot of crested geckos, which definitely had my attention, because I'm definitely looking into crested geckos. I'd like to add one to the collection. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But in the thumbnail, I had this bottle. I may have talked about this bottle before. I'm not sure. Right now, I don't have my snakes in a rack system. They are in aquariums, like this one back here. That one's kind of empty. I need to put more stuff in it. But anyhow, all of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 aquariums that have reptiles in them, and they of course have the open screen top. That's where this comes into play. A misting water bottle of any type can be your best friend as far as humidity goes. I am going to have to cover the top of some of these enclosures just because too much humidity is leaving, and I'd like to keep them a little more humid. They're rocking around 35%. I like to get them up there close to 50. I think 50 is a good number for all of them. Maybe not the hognose. They don't require a whole lot, but it's good to have them maintain the humidity. Also, I use rags or towels on top of some of them. When that does help a lot, you can keep that rag wet, that towel wet, and it keeps the humidity in. But anyhow, that's from the picture, from the thumbnail. Didn't want you guys to think I left that out. So that's in there. If you guys have any questions for me or any comments, I got a question. I always try to keep a question in there. What's the last reptile expo you've been to? When was it? Was it recent? Was it during the time we have now? Or was it pre-March? We'll say that. Let me know. I like to know your thoughts, and if they are as different in your area as they were here for us this time around. So hopefully everything will get back to somewhat normal eventually. We'll see. School started, so I think everything's going to go back. Regardless, after November, everything will disappear anyway. So, alright guys, I think I've taken up enough of your time. It looks like I'm going on 14 and a half minutes. So, have a good one. I appreciate the view. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Help me grow this channel. I sure would appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next one.